Alright. So hopefully you can hear me. Let me just get my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday. This is 60. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, Monday, Tuesday. I forgot this is 2. Wednesday, Thursday. Friday. Or maybe they've been giving me 60. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Oh yeah, they always do. Sorry about that. We had to get Tracy up, he fell. He was calling Javon, my grandson. And I came home yesterday, right? And in the kitchen was a whole lot of water. And my slippers. These are my slippers, right? And the bottom of them, you can't get wet. It's that kind of plastic-like slipper. So I slipped, but thank God I didn't fall. And I was like, who was that? Put all this water down and left it. And then Tracy was making fun. He was making fun of me because I was singing, I slipped. And he was like, oh. Like, I was saying, ain't no big deal, so what, you slipped? And I'm like telling him, I said, yeah, but what about you? What if it had happened to you? And he was like, oh. He was making a joke of it. And look, he slipped on water, just not in the kitchen, in the bathroom. Okay, let me see. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. I'm set. I got him in here. So now, I need to record. Maybe I can record on my computer because I need to play on my phone. I need to play on my phone. What was said, so y'all can hear what's being said and get a more full understanding of my response. So, give me a second. All right, I'm here. My coffee. Be right back. I just want to throw this in, you know? I have been saying for years that I do not understand why. Oh, I forgot. I got it. Let me see if I can charge it. So let me bring that thing up here. Hang on, let me try. Okay, so let me just say this. Oh, this is audio. It's not video. Okay, so let me just say this. I have been saying for years, in reference to the kids. I teach my kids that, let me go this way. They be saying in the church, so this is a church video. They be saying in the church, I burnt myself. I feel a scab. I'm peeling it. They've been saying in the church that you gotta teach your kids this and make sure they get an education so they'll get out there and they'll work and they'll be able to take care of themselves and they won't be living off of you. And they started saying that the kids is the way they are because of their parents and blah, blah, blah. Now, I beg to differ. Now, I do agree with the fact that there are some things that kids do, they pick up from their parents. Some things they pick up based on what they see their parents do, and some things they pick up from the genes. It's something that's in them that, and they may even say, I don't even know why I pick my teeth or chew my tongue or all this other stuff. And, just something weird that they can't understand why they do, and it's because their parents did it. And some things are hereditary, like some diseases, that goes through the genes. And sometimes it can pass one child and go to the grandchild or the great-great-grandchild. And you really won't, you kind of understand it because I remember it's something about the chromosomes and stuff like that and how it's split up. Because I remember watching it and getting that understanding. But this ain't a chromosome video. So now, I beg to differ. Because here's what I'm catching in the spiritual outlook of it. A child is born into the world. He's created by God, right? But his birth, he's born into the world, right? And you instill morals and values in them. You instill it. You teach them things, and then you tell them things, and then you enforce things. Things that are right? Things that are holy. You see what I'm saying? Because my grandmother growing up, my grandmother didn't enforce me to get saved when I was 3 and 4 and 5 little kids, a little child. She didn't tell me nothing about getting saved. But what she did was that she taught me about salvation. She taught me about God. So when I'm little, I'm being taught about him. I'm going to church. I'm in the midst of service. Oh my God. They're having service. I'm playing the drum. I don't know whether y'all noticed that after a while when the bottle starts stinking. And I'll worry about the water. I'm like, you're moving all over the place now. I want to be talking now. You want to be moving. Ooh. So anyway. It's amazing how you could just drink water and you never get full. I guess until you reach the capacity that your body needs, because you made of water. But that pill I gotta take with a lot of water. So now, just getting to the point so I can go on with the reason I'm having this video. Now, you can teach the kid. You can tell the kids it ain't right to smoke. You want to use that. You can tell the kids to not smoke. You can tell the kid you need to get an education. You can tell the kid don't get no hud rat boyfriend. And if he's a hud rat, make sure that he has a sense of stability to be able to take care of you. Wait a minute, before he even take care of you, he gotta be able to take care of himself. And when I say be able to take care of himself, I don't mean money-wise. I don't mean having a good job. I'm not talking about all that. That's good. Right? That's good to have, right? And it may be considered a necessity to have a job. And it is a necessity to have income, right? So it's not a necessity to have a job because there's a lot of people that's surviving that don't have a job and do have money. So it's not a necessity to have a job. It's a good thing to have underneath your belt so you'll be able to take care of yourself in the future. Okay. So now, you can have a child that you teach them all these things. And we're going to go to the spiritual realm. You can have a child that you're telling them all these things and you're teaching them, right? But we don't know what's going on in their mind, right? We don't know what's happening in their mind. So they listen to you, right? They hear you, but they don't listen, right? And maybe in some aspects, I take that back, maybe in some aspects they do listen. They do what you tell them to do, whatever the case may be. But in their mind, they don't want that. They don't want a job. They don't want to get a man or a woman that's a good man or a woman. They say opposites attract. Not that it's a good thing that opposite attracts, but opposite attracts because the nature of the human being is to go against right. I'm just learning something. I'm just, should I say a revelation? That's why people don't get their soulmates. That's why people don't ask God for a wife or a husband. That's why people don't get the best jobs. That's why everybody ain't working. You see what I'm saying? But not even only about a job. A lot of times the job aspects comes in with the qualifications. So I'm not going to say that a person don't work because they don't want to work. Everybody's not in that category. There's some out there that don't work because they don't want to work. But there's some out there that don't work because they can't work. Whether it's due to criminal background, whether it's due to lack of ability, whether it's due to lack of knowledge and education and skills and stuff like that. There is a reason behind everything. And a lot of people can't work. You see what I'm saying? And then you got some that just refuse to work. There's a majority out there that look back and say, I'm going to get me a woman that's going to take care of them, take care of me. And that's something that they had in their head from the time when they was a child. This is what I'm going to do. Because their mentality was for mommy and daddy to take care of them. And I ain't talking about the one that got a silver spoon or a gold spoon in their mouth. I'm talking about them that ain't got nothing in their mouth. And they mama and papa's out there working, making good money, got a house, got a car, but they ain't gonna work because they want mommy and daddy to take care of them. And because that is their mentality, when they go and get married, that's what they're gonna be looking for. So, with that being said, you have the child that don't want to do nothing, that don't want to work, that don't want to clean, don't want to take care of themselves, don't want to do nothing. And I feel that as a parent, these are things that are shown to you through that child from when that child is little. Even if the child grows up and be gay, that been seen. You saw it. You overlooked it. You ain't want to pay attention to it. And I'm gonna say something else. I feel that if you know your child is like that, and you allow this child, we're gonna go in the spiritual room. You allow this child to be a part of the church. You allow this child to sing in the choir, be in the choir, all this other stuff, and you don't never say nothing against it. You got the child in your house. You know what the child is doing, and for years you allow the child to be a part. I'm not saying you broadcast it to the church, but I'm saying you put your foot down in your home, and you put your foot down in the church. You know this is what your child is thinking about doing. You have a chat with your child, and you tell your child, no, we're not having this. That's what you want to be? Why you want to be that? Blah, 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 blah. All right, well, you know that's against God's policies. You know that's against God's rules and regulations. And you know you're going to be punished for it. And if you walk down that road and decide that's the road you're going to go down, you going down the road of hell. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. Okay, so you can go on and you can live that life, but you can't do it in my home. You cannot. I'm not disowning you. You still my child. You still my, I still love you. But you can't be a part of my life because of the simple fact God didn't let Sodom and Gomorrah be a part of his life. He burnt it down to the ground. He killed every last being down to children in Sodom and Gomorrah. The only one that escaped was Lot and his family. And Miss Lot felt like, you know what? I like that kind of life. Now, I'm going to go back on that. I'm going to say this because I wasn't there and I don't know. And the Bible states that they was told not to look back by the angel. Go and don't look back. And Lot's wife looked back. And they don't even say her name. They didn't even identify her. They identified her by Lot's wife. Lot's wife turned around and looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Now that scenario, this girl, what's up? That scenario can go a lot of ways. It can go that she was concerned, she was feeling some kind of way, whether it was mad or whatever, and all my stuff is being burnt up. I liked it that lie. Or it could have been like, oh, let me see if it really gonna happen. They told me not to look back. I'ma look back. And she looked back. And she was turned into a pillar of salt. But I think she became a pillar of salt because of the simple fact God knew her heart. So whether it was, well, I can't say it was for him, so it had to be against him. So because you disobeyed me, and I know that your heart is stating that you wanted to stay there, you wanted to be there, you feel some kind of way because I'm burning down your jewelry and all your tent and all this other stuff. So you got, I'm talking in the aspect of God. You got all these feelings against me. I'm telling y'all, don't look back. So Lot went on, his family, his kids, whatever went on, and she turned around, and they saying to this day she's still there. I don't know how true that is, but mm. So you teach these kids, and they be like a lot. I don't care what mommy and daddy taught me. I don't care what mommy and daddy said. I'm going to do this. So if God was against homosexuality, beast, beastness, having sexual intercourse with all types of animals, and I always had in my head that those pictures that I see in the Bible and those pictures that I see in books that shows a human being face and maybe a cow or maybe a horse, that was just something that was of the writer's vivid imagination. So that's why it's in there. But when I was reading and getting an understanding of what those people did back then, that explains why. There wasn't no cartoon. The Bible ain't no cartoon. It's not a book of imagination. It's a book of facts. So when you get a Bible that has pictures and you see the pictures in there and you see the human being looking like an animal, that is why. You see what I'm saying? Well, let me finish my thought. I was saying that is why the devil, even though he was a snake, was able to talk. But no, that ain't had nothing to do with the curse yet, because Solomon and Gomorrah wasn't around yet. That just had to do with the ability that God was able. No, that had to do with the fact, I want to get it right, with the fact that the devil is able to put himself in forms that he choose. And when you read in the Bible, he say, and I spoke about it in my High on the Devil but Delivered by God message, he was more stubborn. He was more conniving and more devious and more smart than all the rest of the beasts in the field. Now, the rest of the beasts was, I would consider it to be like a goat, a bull, a lion. Beasts are animals that are made to destroy human beings, made to even destroy other animals. See, the cat is not, well, maybe the cat is a beast, but I don't think God considered the cat to be a beast. Right? Okay. So the devil, not the serpent, the devil was the cunning, because God had, because just think of it, the first world, right? I'm saying the first world. I'm putting in that category so you can understand it. The first world was God's world when there was no humans. It was just angels. Everybody was living up in the sky. You see what I'm saying? Or heaven, or whatever, however you want to put it. Everybody was up there. There was no earth. It's just like it says, the earth, and the earth was void. That means it was nothing. You notice that you get a void check. That means that you can't do nothing with it. It's void. Don't even try to think about using it. I don't care if it's $50 million on it. It's void. You can't use it. So the earth had a lot of space. The world was a lot of space, but it was void. There was nothing there. So that's where the devil was. Lucifer. That was his name, Lucifer. You see what I'm saying? And so therefore, he had the ability, to do things, but he couldn't outdo God. He was equal with God, meaning that he was an angel, right? God was divine, so he was there in the midst of God, so he was able to be in his midst. See, we get saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost is what allows us to be able to be in his presence. Because other than that, he don't hear what you're saying. Because you ain't even nowhere near him. He can hear you. He can listen. It's like I'm talking now. He hears me. But when you're not saved and your life is not hid with Christ and God, and you are not living holy, you don't have no Holy Ghost. Let me put it like that, because you can't live holy if you ain't got no Holy Ghost. That's why it's called the Holy Ghost. So you have this, and you just do what you don't have this, and you do whatever you want to do, like the devil was doing. So God had to get rid of him, because now he is trying to turn people against him. And he had to get rid of him. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. You plotting. And he probably was sitting there looking at him, talking to Jack in jail, and I'm just making up names because they didn't have the human name. Just look at Lucifer. Ain't nobody in the world named Lucifer. I think we may have a Gabriel. I think you don't hear Gabriel that much, but every now and then I'll run across somebody in my earlier years. I will run across somebody calling somebody Gabriel, but Gabriel is a very high tech name, like Jesus. You don't hear nobody calling nobody Jesus in the English language. In the Spanish language, it's Jesus. So they do name their children Jesus, right? But the American people, we have an outlook, I guess, of who Jesus is. So we can't be walking around our house talking about Jesus. You better stop doing that, Jesus. I'ma beat your tail, Jesus. It's just out of context. You can't do nothing like that because it's very uncomfortable. So he had to get rid of this devil, kick them out. So now he comes down, and he's now on earth, which is not called earth. He's now, what can I say, on the surface, right? Going around doing what he's doing, saying what he's doing. So now God decides, for whatever reason, that he gonna make himself a world. And you know what? Let me explain it like this. I won't use the aspect that God got lonely. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna use the aspect. You know what? You know what just came to me? He had to make a world because, and this is in my opinion, this is not biblical, but let's follow me on this. He had to make a world because he got rid of the devil. And he knew that the devil was going to cause trouble. And being that he kicked him out of heaven, he had to make a place for him to stay. Now, he could have did it then, but let's just hypothetically say, no, I'm not going to bound him up right now, right? I'm going to give him his freedom and let him go, right? So he had to make this world so that in the end, he can put him back. Well, I won't say back. He could put him where he belongs. Now, once Jesus come back and rapture his people, and the world has to go through that 1,000 years of torment or whatever, and he comes back and judge the world, then that's when the enemy is going to be sent to where he belongs. He will no longer be able to roam the earth. He will be in the pit along with his imps and along with the human beings that have decided to serve him. And then that's it. Now let's say, just look at it like this. Let's say he decides to make another world. we won't be a part of that world because we are now spiritually raptured and we are up there with him. We are waiting to say, and those that are alive and remain will be caught up to meet him in the air and there. And so, and therefore, forever be with the Lord. So once he come in rapture and takes us back with him, whether dead or alive, we go and be with him. And we wherever he at, that's where we be. And then he comes back. And that's when judgment starts. Because that's another video right there. Judgment does not begin when a person dies. I hear people say, I hear right in my church, they going on into judgment. They ain't going on into nothing. Because ain't nobody being judged without we seeing it. Because it said in the word, don't you know that the saints shall judge the world? Now, I'm not going to elaborate on that because I got to get more into it. So I don't really know whether it's saying that we're going to be judging people. But in my outlook of it and what I think it means, that's what we're going to be doing. People going to come up when they got to stand before God, and they're going to see us, the saints that they rejected. They're going to see the wives and the husband that they didn't want to follow or didn't want to be with or whatever the case, divorced them and went on it. All these people that got these 3 wives for whatever reason, or these 4 husbands for whatever reason, they're going to see them more if they save. And we going to be able to judge them. And when I say judge, I don't mean we going to be like pointing fingers. You see, you can judge people inwardly. You can judge people by your facial expression. You don't have to say nothing all the time to judge nobody. You see what I'm saying? You could just look at a person and be like, and you done judged them. You done came with a decision of what you saw and made a final decision based on what you saw. So we'll be judging them. So now, when he come back, he get us, and we spend time with him. So who is to say he won't make another world? Well, we won't be in it. You see what I'm saying? So now, with that being said, I want to get into my video. Make sure I want to make sure I end it. Come. Wait a minute. Okay. Get myself comfy. Let me get comfortable. So, okay, so back that way. So now, so I was talking about the kids and stuff like that. I want to come out of that. So let me just summarize it and end it. So now, with all that being said, we as parents, we are responsible for what we teach our children, but we're not responsible for the outcome. But we're only not responsible for the outcome if we taught them right. And my right may not be your right may not be my right. But the right that you know, that's what you teach your children. And once you come into the knowledge of God and knowing him, he will, and get in the Holy Ghost will lead us into all truth. Lead and guide us into all truth. So that way, whatever it is that we don't know, The Holy Ghost will teach us, and I'm a witness of that. So now, with that being said, we're going to go to...
It's 9 o'clock.
The... Can you clap me in?
No. They don't think she's asleep. You know, wait till I'm asleep to dip out.
Yeah, I know that. How is that?